Being a life insurance broker or investment advisor is a tough profession. Very few people survive this industry. Do you relate to these problems? Lead quality and consistency? Here's the problem. Brokers are inundated with low quality, unqualified leads, or overpaying for leads shared with multiple agents. The result is wasted time, low closing rates, frustration, and burnout. And the root cause of this is over-reliance on outdated lead vendors or cold outreach without a funnel strategy. Another problem is increasing consumer skepticism. The problem is people are more skeptical of salespeople, especially in financial services, and they often associate life insurance with scams or pressure. This results in a lot of objections, ghosting, and longer sales cycles. The root cause is lack of education-focused marketing and trust-building content. For some, the problem is a technology gap. Many brokers fall behind in digital tools like automation, CRM, retargeting, calendar booking, etc. And this results in lost leads, poor follow-up, and inefficient workflows. The cause of this, of course, is being overwhelmed with tech options or lack of training on automation tools. Another major difficulty is insurance has now become a commodity. Clients often shop online, comparing quotes like a commodity. This results in price-focused conversations and a race to the bottom with low margins. And the root cause of the problem is that there's a lack of unique value proposition or niche positioning of products to client needs. To be successful, you need to have a system that is scalable. The problem is many brokers rely on referrals, word of mouth, or cold calling without a predictable pipeline. So it results in feast or famine income cycles, or as I like to say, chicken one day and feathers the next. And the problem is that there's no repeatable automated lead generation and appointment setting system in place for many brokers. Brokerage firms or agencies also have problems with retention and recruitment. They have high turnover and difficulty training new agents. This results in lost revenue and constant rebuilding. And the cause of that is a lack of onboarding structure or mentorship systems that ensure the success of the new brokers. Many brokers also face burnout and time poverty because they spend too much time chasing leads, dealing with rejection, or they get buried in administrative duties. It results in fatigue, stress, mental health issues, and very often results in them just quitting the career. And that's because there's no automation, there's poor delegation, and lack of business systems that work effectively. Standing out from the crowd is very difficult, and this has to do with branding and what makes you different from everybody else. The reason is because most brokers look and sound exactly the same. Clients don't remember who you are, and you seldom get referrals from them as a result. And that's because there's no niche, or there's a poor online presence, or no compelling brand story by the individual broker so that people will remember them and they will stand out from the crowd. Bottom line is that nobody really wants to buy life insurance and are leery of investments because there are just too many scams and scammers. Now, just imagine if you could secure over 20 appointments with engaged prospects each month. How would that change the way you do business? Would you be interested in learning how to close 90% of them? What if I could show you how to gather detailed prospect insurance and financial information without any objections. What if I could show you a way to sell more life insurance than you ever dreamed possible? Would you be interested? What I am about to show you is unlike anything you've ever seen before. The system that I will show you has nothing to do with making cold calls or using AI to find people interested in life insurance or investments. Just remember, most people are really not interested. And it's not about empty promises. I will teach you what worked for me and will work for you too. It's not a theory. What I'm about to show you is a system that I guarantee you have never even heard of before. It's a system that makes more than 65% of adults ready and willing prospects. And it's a system with the lowest customer resistance you have ever seen. Are you ready to learn more? Let me begin by telling you how I discovered this method. As a financial planner, I lost some large sales because of accountants and lawyers. Maybe you have too. I made the mistake of referring clients to a lawyer to get their wills and power of attorney done. And in my case, they always talked my clients out of the solution I was recommending. Then when I tried a tax-saving approach to investments or life insurance, clients were more ready to believe their accountants than me, and most tried to talk them into more complex and costly solutions that would just benefit them. In utter frustration, I did two things. Firstly, I became a notary, so I could draft clients' wills and power of attorneys myself. Secondly, I took a course on tax planning and started doing tax returns for my clients and to get new clients. I also studied estate law, and I spoke to people who had lost a loved one and how things went on winding up their estate, so I could get some real-world information and knowledge. Once I felt I had a good handle on these issues, I decided to prospect using a totally different approach. I advertised to draft wills for people at a fraction of the cost of what a lawyer would charge. Now, just by way of information, the typical fees that lawyers charge to draft wills and power of attorneys do differ. In Canada, if you get your will and power of attorneys done at the same time, a typical cost is between $600 and $1,200 per person, and that's with minimal complexity. If it is more complex, because of assets or business holdings, it can get a lot higher than that. In the United States, the combined package of will and power of attorney and healthcare directive ranges between $500 and $1,200 per person, with, again, minimal complexity. The stories I am about to share with you actually happened before the internet ever was a thing. And so what I did is I sent out some direct mail advertising to draft wills directly to people's mailboxes. So let me tell you what happened. The first response I got was from a man who managed a pool elevator in a nearby town. I went to meet with him and his wife to draft their wills, and in the process had to get all their financial information, their investments, life insurance, etc. So I went back to draft their wills, and in the process, I discovered I could do much better for them with their RSP investments and life insurance. But when I presented my great solution, they informed me they didn't want to change because their provider was part of their religious affiliation. So it resulted in a few bucks I made for selling them the wills and nothing more. I was somewhat discouraged, but wasn't about to quit. But something strange happened. 2 days later, I got a call from a stranger who it turned out was friends with the elevator operator. This man had recommended me as an expert in tax and estate planning matters and referred him to me. Of course, excitedly, I booked an appointment with them for the very next day at my office. As it turned out, 3 people arrived for the appointment: an elderly farmer, his brother, whom he farmed with and was a bachelor, and his son. They told me that for the last 2 years they had consulted with 2 attorneys and 3 accountants and had spent around $30,000, but still were not satisfied with the solution to their farm estate distribution dilemma. So for the next 2 hours, I reviewed all their options, and I showed them how a particular type of life insurance would solve their problem, along with some other critical things they needed to do. Before they left my office, I had all their details to draft their wills that would do what they really wanted to accomplish, and I sold them enough life insurance that earned me $22,000 in commission. After delivering their wills, I also sold them an assortment of investments that would do better for them than they were getting before. I made another $5,000 in commission on that. Honestly, I thought I had died and gone to heaven. It was too easy, and more money than I had ever made in a sale before. After this, I got another call from a 73-year-old farmer about drafting his will, because he heard I offered free estate planning advice. Lawyers actually don't usually do that, and most are not trained to be able to do that. On arrival at his farm, I handed him my business card, which said estate planner / life insurance broker. On looking at it, he immediately stated he did not believe in life insurance and did not want to hear anything about life insurance. I assured him that was not a problem, and we started talking about what he wanted in his will. We didn't get far into it before he exclaimed that this was too hard, which is why he had never drafted a will before. So I offered to give him some ideas of options. Methodically, I went through each option of how he could distribute his estate, along with costs, pros and cons of each option. He didn't like any of them. So I said, well, there is one other option, but you said you were not interested in hearing anything about it. Of course, I was referring to life insurance. So he asked me how life insurance could be a realistic solution, and I showed him how. When I got done, he got on the phone and called his son, whom he farmed with, and told him to come over right away, which of course he did. I then proceeded to go over all the options with him as well as my life insurance option. Bottom line is that I walked out with an application for life insurance on the dad that paid me $18,000 in commission. So my first 3 will appointments netted me more than I had made the entire year before while working my butt off. I made $45,000 in just 1 week. After that, my business really exploded. It was like shooting ducks in a barrel. At this point, you are probably thinking, well, that's great, Ken, but I cannot become a notary nor a tax expert. So how in the world does this help me? Well, I am glad you asked. The good news is you don't need to be a notary, and you don't need to know how to do tax returns or tax strategies. You do, however, have to learn some important things about estate planning. And you do need to know the best insurance or investment products that will solve your client's needs. And you do need a system of marketing that'll get you 10 to 20 prime prospects each and every month consistently. So if you sign up, what do you get? Well, firstly, you will receive specialized training on key aspects of estate planning. This includes joint tenancy and tax implications. Secondly, I will provide training on will law and power of attorney law. Thirdly, I will hook you up with a top-tier legal firm that will draft wills and power of attorneys for your client and their spouse for only $149.85. Everyone can afford that. Fourth, you will earn a referral fee for the wills and power of attorneys. Number 5, I will help you set up a marketing system with power ads that will consistently bring you at least 10 to 20 qualified prospects each month for an ad spend of only $10 a day. Number 6, I will give you one-on-one counseling. I can help you present a powerful selling proposition to your clients. Number 7, you will get my WhatsApp contact info so you can call me anytime for help. And number 8, I will give you training on buy-sell agreements for business partners. There's a huge amount of money to be made here marketing to business owners. Consultants are a dime a dozen, but I am different. Most consultants only teach how to do things, but I am no ordinary consultant. I don't just tell you how, I will show you. If you live on Vancouver Island, I will join you in person for 3 appointments and demonstrate how it's done. If you live off the island, you will need to cover my travel expenses, but I will also be available for 3 in-person appointments with you. There's no consultant I know of who offers this kind of help. Do you? So what exactly does it cost? Well, if you don't sign up, you will lose tens of thousands of dollars in potential earnings. And if you wait too long to decide, I may not be able to take you on. I can only manage a few clients in order to ensure this success. If you sign up today, I need a retainer of $2,500 to start. This will cover your first month of training and setup. You should easily make that and much more back the very first month. Thereafter, I offer ongoing training and consulting to take you into high-ticket sales with corporate executives, resulting in many thousands of dollars in revenue. The ongoing fee is $2,000 per month, and you can cancel at any time. Are you ready to radically change your business and make more money than you ever imagined? Then you need to add me to your team. Just click on the link below to find out if you are a fit for this service.